Please welcome to the Tam Fam, Valarie Kaur. Valarie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You know, you started a project called the Revolutionary Love Project. You outlined it in the book, and it's rooted in the idea that love can change the world. I mean, but interestingly enough, that's not a revolutionary thing. Whatever religion, whatever you might teach your kid in the home, you always say all we need is love. But for some reason, we forget that.
Yeah. Well, I have to be honest, you know, I'm a trained lawyer. So anytime anyone stood up on a stage and said love was the answer, I would roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Compared to what we're up against, what is love in the face of systems that perpetuate oppression? And I realized, I came to discover through 20 years of activism that the problem is not with love, it's the way we talk about it in this country. We tend to think of love as a rush of emotion, but love is action, it's what we do for each other. I remember the moment when my son was born. He was placed on my chest and I was shaking and sobbing from that rush of feeling, and I thought, this is love, I am falling in love. And there's a role for the falling, but in the meantime, my mother was opening up her bag and taking out her dal and chol and proceeding to feed me, like feeding her baby as I'm feeding mine. And I looked at my mother and I realized that she knew what I was just beginning to learn, that love is more than a rush of emotion. Love is sweet labor.
Yeah.
Fierce, bloody, imperfect, life-giving, a choice we make again and again. And when we love like that, you know, it contains all of our emotions. Yeah. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger, you know, our rage is the force that protects that which we love. And so when we take a little bit of that love that we show our babies, our loved ones, and we love beyond what evolution requires, when we love those in harm's way, that is what I call revolutionary love.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, the fact that in your book you talk about your roots on the farm in California, and that you felt that you weren't seen and that people saw you as a stranger, adding to the conversation of love, it is easy, I always tell people, to love the people in your home or with your DNA. It's the act of love of a stranger that, to me, is the ultimate challenge for people.
It is.
Showing that love of an individual where you are beyond the good Samaritan. You're the good person, the good human. And people struggle with that.
Well, we all carry unconscious bias within us. You know, when we're walking down the street, the minute we see a face, our bodies decide before conscious thought whether they're one of us or one of them.
Right.
Right? So the good news is that we can retrain how we see. We can teach ourselves to see no stranger. When my babies and I go for walks, we look at the faces on the street and we say, okay, sister, brother, sibling, grandparent, beloved. And when we're doing that, it's as if we're training ourselves to see them as part of us. Tamron, we can look upon the face of anyone and say, you are a part of me I do not yet know.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, but it's revolutionary stuff.
It is. That's why we call these beautiful people and those watching at home Tam Fam. That meant, I mean, really, that meant something to me because they are my sisters, my aunts, my brothers, my people who rooted for me. They're my family. And I take that to heart. And I think I learned it from my mother, because my mother will get on the elevator and she says, good evening, hello, hi, to this day. And I'm like, Mom, we don't know them. We live in New York. And she's like, on the elevator, hello, good evening, because she doesn't see a stranger.
Right.
And that's how I was raised.
And what happens when we see differently, we do differently, right? So who we see as one of us shapes who we stand up for, the policies we support, the leaders we elect, how we build community around us.
I love that.
And so it's the revolution of the heart that we're inviting everyone into.
I love it.
Wow.
Mommy, you know the book looks little.
Oh.
It does look littler.
Mommy, you are in the book.
I'm on the book.
We're back with activist and author Valarie Kaur, and those were her adorable children reacting to seeing their mommy's face on the cover of her book, See No Stranger. What does it feel like for them to see you on this book?
Oh, you know, I think for them it's like normal because
Not on a book, unless you walk around like this in the pages.
well, my daughter's too, so she just thinks like, oh look, it's mommy, and then mommy talking. She thinks all the books now talk.
Okay, so this is what's amazing about this book. No, this is why she thinks mommy talks and all books talk. This is revolutionary, an app where you place it on the book cover. Watch this.
Revolutionary love is the power of our past. Revolutionary love is when we are brave enough to see no stranger, to look at anyone.
And you can actually hear, isn't that incredible? It's amazing. What an idea. Oh, it elevates the book.
Oh,
in so many ways.
It's magical. It's magical. This portrait was by Shepard Fairey. He heard my story, my vision around oneness and revolutionary love, and he brought it to life in the artwork, and then Amplifier Art sprinkled magic over it. And it's the first book ever where the author comes alive through augmented reality.
I've watched it over and over. Beautiful message. Well, congratulations on discussing something we all need to hear and presenting it in such a revolutionary way. Bravo.
Thank you
Bravo.
so much.